Hey, what is going on, road trippers? Road Trip Nate here, once again. Welcome back to the channel. Last night I did my top 10 least favorite cities I've been to. In the opening of that video, I said my top 5 least favorite. I did 10 cities. So I want to clarify that it's my top 10 least favorite. But that was last night. This is tonight. We're doing my top 10 favorite cities and towns that I've visited up to this point. And as I said last night, I'm going to start off with an honorable mention. 2 of them. Three of them. Got a list here. Trying to figure out what I wrote down last night. Okay, 3 honorable mentions. Number 1, Little Rock was on my honorable mention was on my top 10 least favorite cities, just because of the current times. The COVID-19 and everything and all that. I didn't have the greatest experience in Little Rock because everything was shut down, but I liked what the river market, what it looked like, and when I go back, I'm hoping it makes its way into the top 10 without being an honorable mention into my favorite places I've been to. Flagstaff. The reason it's an honorable mention is because I liked Flagstaff. It looked like a really good bar hopping area in the middle of downtown that I did not get to experience a few years back when I was there, that I want to go to, and it will probably make the top 10 of my favorite cities one of these days, next time I go back. And not technically a city, so that's why it's not top 10, but another honorable mention, which I had a great time in, the Gulf Coast area from Dauphin Island to Pensacola, Florida. As I said last night, Mobile was not one of my favorite places I've been because I spent more time in the Gulf Coast area on the just the Bay Area instead of Mobile, with my dad, my stepmom, my 2 brothers, and my sister. We went down there for a little family vacation for a week. It was fun. I mean, first time going to the ocean, hanging out on the beach all day, going swimming in the salt water. It was fun. But it's not a city or town, so that's why it's only an honorable mention. I may do my favorite. I think I already have done my favorite places I've visited before, but if not, I'll do that one of these days. My favorite vacations. Starting out with number 10, Louisville, Kentucky. Now, Louisville was fun. One of the, if not the first time I ever ate at my favorite restaurant of all time, fast food restaurant, White Castle, was in Louisville. It had a really nice downtown, nice little Riverwalk area. Went up to see my sister and brother-in-law. They were living down there at the time. Louisville was a Nice little town. Nice city, not a nice little town. The basketball arena for the Louisville Cardinal University, the KFC Yum Center. Nice little outside. The exterior of it was pretty nice, and it was just a good trip. Got to eat at White Castle a couple of times. Saw my sister and brother-in-law. Really loved the downtown area, the riverfront area. Number 9, Chicago, Illinois. The only time I've been to Chicago, I was impressed by the sheer massiveness of the city. It's just the skyscrapers just keep going and going and going and going. It's like, whoa. The biggest city I've ever been to. The third largest city in the U.S. behind New York and Los Angeles. But I stayed there for one night, but it was just, it was a huge city. I'm like, wow, this is great. I want to dive deeper next time I go. Number 8, Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is one of the easiest to drive around downtowns that I've ever been in. Has a nice bar hopping spot in Bricktown, right along the river. Been there a few times. I myself would prefer it to Tulsa, which you saw my other video last night. I talked about how World According to Briggs, he said Tulsa gets more visit tours than Oklahoma City. I would prefer Oklahoma City more than Tulsa because it'll way more to do downtown. Number 7, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro. Dallas had a decent downtown. Arlington has. I've been to Six Flags Over Texas numerous times. Arlington's nice. It's an attraction destination, family destination. It's got the Cowboys Stadium. It's great. The Fort Worth Stockyards. First time I went there, I've been wanting to see that for a long time. Fort Worth Stockyards were great. I got to see a cattle drive through the middle of the Fort Worth Stockyards. But I've been to Dallas several times, and I've always had a good time in Dallas. It was fun. Number 6, Branson, Missouri. Now, a lot of people might give me some slack for this, for putting Branson on my top, but I am 31 years old. I live in Northwest Arkansas. A family vacation went out every single year, a couple times a year when I was growing up. Every single year since I've been alive. A quick family vacation destination was Branson, Missouri. So I've been there 60, 70 times. I always have a good time. It's, part of my childhood. It's from, whenever I was growing up, a family vacation, it was always Branson. So, and I've never had a bad time in Branson. Ever. Every time I've gone, it's been a decent getaway. So that's why Branson's on this list. Is because I've been there many times, way more than any other town on this list. And I've always had a good time. Silver Dollar City, as I've grown older, the landing, the shows, the, tourist trap attractions. I mean, it's all fun and exciting stuff to see for me every time I go. Number 5, Atlanta, Georgia. I've been to Atlanta once. Like I've said in previous videos, me and my buddy Kenny went down to Atlanta several years ago to go see his son, who lives in Atlanta, works as a paramedic. Stayed a couple nights at his son's house, and then went into downtown Atlanta. And we were down there during the SEC championship game, Florida and Alabama, and it was just packed with Florida, Alabama fans, and got to see the Georgia Dome. Went into the Hard Rock in Atlanta. I think went into one of the malls, the promenade-like malls in downtown. I liked Atlanta's skyline. It was decent. Yeah, but Atlanta was fun. It was a different kind of trip that I enjoyed. Number 4, Kansas City, Missouri. St. Louis was on the top 10 least favorite cities I visited. Kansas City's on my top 10 favorite, just because Bricktown, got a nice little downtown. It's a historical looking downtown, old buildings. St. Louis has that too, but Kansas City didn't seem quite as run down as St. Louis. Didn't have quite as much. It didn't look like it had quite as much poverty and everything as St. Louis does. Kansas City was nice, old brick buildings, and I liked Bricktown. Every time I go to Kansas City, got to go to Bricktown. Got a nice hotel just 2 blocks from Bricktown that I always go to. I've done several videos from Kansas City since I've been doing YouTube channels. So, Kansas City. Number 3, Las Vegas. Now, me and my brother had some fun in Vegas. Oh, Vegas was fun. That's why it's on this list. The one time I've been there. We drove out to Vegas, planned on going out to Los Angeles, California. We ran out of money in Vegas, so we had to turn back. But that's all I'm going to say about that. While in Vegas, we had a couple fun nights walking down the strip. First time I'd ever been able to carry a tall boy beer up and down the street, out in the street, anywhere. Got to go to some of the casinos. Ate at the only White Castle west of in the western United States. Yeah, Vegas was fun. Got circled around the airport like 5 times before I finally found the hotel. The same trip, I locked my truck and my keys in my truck in Albuquerque, coming back from Vegas. But while in Vegas, it was fun. It was a good party and atmosphere in Vegas. Number 2, until I go see Aspen, Colorado. this town in Colorado is always going to be my favorite. It's just a nice town. I don't really know why I love this town so much. It's just a nice town. I'm talking about Durango, Colorado. It's just a nice small town located on two sides of a river. Has a little walking trail that goes through the middle of town. It's a very nice, clean town. I want to go through there eventually again and get it on video. But it's a smaller town, but I stopped there going to Vegas for the night. So I mean, I just liked it. It was like nestled right there in the mountains, and I always want to go see Aspen. So Aspen will probably boot that town off the list once I go see that. But for right now, Durango is my favorite town in Colorado, and number 2 on this list. But number 1, Nashville, Tennessee. I have said on many YouTube videos, Nashville, Tennessee is the only time I've been there. Well, I've been there twice. The first time I went there, I was blown away by Broadway. There is just hundreds of bars, just top of each other, just lining the streets. It's like, wow. So it was the best bar hopping spot I have ever seen was Nashville, Tennessee. Coming back from Atlanta, which I said earlier, we stopped in Atlanta to see my friend's son for a few days and then went into downtown Atlanta. Coming back, we stopped in Nashville. And went bar hopping. We only went bar hopping one night. I think we only stayed in Nashville one night. The second time I went, I was going to go into Broadway, but it was last year when they were doing the NFL draft. So I did not want to go into a crowd of like 5,000 people on Broadway. And so that is my top 10 favorite cities and towns I've been to. Y'all are wondering, I always talk about, I love Fayetteville, Arkansas, the Northwest Arkansas Metro. Why is it not on this list? Well, that's because I live in Northwest Arkansas. Fayetteville is basically in my backyard. I can go up there whenever I want. It's not a place I have traveled to. It's just a short drive away for me. I never had to really travel to Fayetteville, but if I had to travel, Fayetteville could have been on this list if I lived further away. That's a little bit extra honorable mention, I guess, Fayetteville, just because it's the home of my favorite team, the Arkansas Razorbacks. I bleed Razorback red all day. And we're at 19 minutes right now. I'm going to try to get it to 20 minutes. We got last night's video to 25. We'll get this one to 20. I like a good idea. As I said yesterday at the end of my video, hope everyone is doing well. Due to the current times, stay safe. Everyone is healthy. As for today, that's going to do it for this live stream. Top 10 Road Trip Nate. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, click that subscribe button at the end of the video to stay notified on all my current and future whereabouts. And as always, you can visit my Patreon page, patreon.com/RoadTripNate. If you feel like donating to this channel, every little bit helps, and it's always much appreciated. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1.